There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the LPU Batangas 6th Career Congress 2022. This webinar series is brought to you by LPU Batangas Career Development, Alumni, and Placement Office. Today, we'll be joined by speakers from ADP Philippines, Phinma Education Group, Colegio San Agustin, Philippine National Police, Inquirer, and DZXL. So excited na kayo, di ba? As much as I am very, very excited, no, with this batch. So before we start, may we invite everybody for the invocation.
Almighty Father, we raise our hearts to you in gratitude for the years of meaningful existence of LPU. As an institution devoted to quality education that seeks to develop the competence and shape the character and values of our youth. We thank you for your love and the many blessings you have given to LPU. Help us to show our gratitude by loving and caring for each other, by following your holy will as we seek for truth, by using the talents you have given us in serving God and our fellow men, by sharing our successes with others, and by glorifying you in all our achievements. Heavenly Father, we entrust our university to your fatherly care and protection as we humbly pray. Bless and protect the LPU community, our board chair and board members, our president and our university officials, our teachers and staff, our students and their parents, our alumni and industry partners, our local and international partners in quality assurance, our adopted communities, and our respective families. We also pray for our national leaders that through their exemplary leadership, they may lead our country to progress, preserving the Christian values and ideals of a democratic society. We pray especially that our dear founders may enjoy everlasting peace. We ask all these in confidence through your Son, Jesus Christ, our Redeemer and our Savior. Amen.
Okay. So, welcome everybody. Welcome again. Ready na ba kayo? Pag hindi pa kayo ready, mag-ready na kayo. Itong hapon na ito, this will be a very fruitful, fun-filled, very informative session. Okay? By the way, my name is Kim. Just in case lang, no, hindi nyo nakita sa screen. My name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa. Baka Kim Chu lang ang maalala ninyo. And I'll be introducing some of the very important people na in-invite natin. Okay, so to officially start today's session, may we invite Dr. Cecilia Pring, Vice President for Academics and Research, for some very important words. Okay? Ayan niyo siya.
Good day to everyone, to the invited speaker who shall be properly introduced in a while, to the Director of Career Development and Placement, Dr. Alex Ilagan, teachers, graduating students, guests, ladies and gentlemen. Warm welcome to this year's Career Congress. This is an important event, especially designed for our graduating students to prepare them for future career and employment. The CDAP office undertakes this learning activity on a regular basis as part of the career guidance. We invited expert speakers who will discuss important matters pertaining to their future careers. The goal is to ensure that our graduates are provided with appropriate and timely information on the realities of the labor market. My dear future professionals, I urge you to listen attentively to the speaker and do engage in meaningful discussion to gain more insights in your career choice. Be the best version of yourselves because very soon you will be out in the world looking for a place to fit in. But as a Lyceum graduate, we are confident that you will excel anywhere you go. Good luck to all of you and God bless everyone.
Thank you for that, Dr. Pring. Now, we also ask a very important guest to deliver his inspirational message to our audience today. May we have Sir Frederick Badillo, the Senior Vice President and VP for Finance. Hi, Sir Eric. Please
Hello.
join us here.
Thank you, Mr. Kim.
Hi, good afternoon po. The floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Of course, all our LPU officials and personnel here, with special mention to our Vice President for Academics and Research, Dr. Cecil Queen, our Assistant Vice President for Academics and Research, Dr. Conrad Dotong, to Dr. Alex Ilagan, our Director for Career Development, Alumni Placement Office, Din Marina Bautista, Din Arnie Baliena, all our speakers for today. So allow me to acknowledge them. No, of course, first in the list is Mr. Kim Chua himself, the Managing Director of Jobs180.com. Actually, he's already our Suki speaker. He's always present to support us in all our career congress activities, job fair, and other career development programs. And we also have Ms. Cathy Herrera of ADP Philippines, Mr. Raymund Cesar Soberano, SBP Group Head of Human Resources, Ms. Bob Simbulan, Phinma Education System, Father Bernard Collera, Divine Word College of Legazpi, Mr. Ricky Rosales of DZXL 558, no, Radyo Trabaho. Actually, Mr. Rosales is our alumnus and one of our successful alumni. Ms. Josie Silva, Guidance Counselor, Career Activities Monitor, Colegio San Agustin, and we also have the PMS, Manuela Cueto of the Batangas PNP Provincial Office. No? So, wow, no, we have a lot of speakers, which only shows that LPU is being supported and trusted by many reputable organizations and business establishments. And of course, to all our graduating students and alumni here, it's my honor and pleasure once again to be part of this event and to deliver a message, no, to our sixth Virtual Career Congress for our graduating students and alumni under our College of Criminal Justice and the College of Education, Arts, and Sciences. Well, starting this academic year, we made a big, no, and very essential improvement in the conduct of our Career Congress, since instead of doing it just once, no, for all our programs, we decided to do it by discipline. So it would be more focused in a certain field of specialization. We started with our allied medical programs early this year and followed by other programs from different colleges. And now we have come to the last batch of our students from our CCJE and SEAS. And with this improvement, we are receiving positive feedback from our students since our invited speakers come from your discipline or field of profession, and the topics discussed are related to your future profession. In this way, you will get more and appropriate insights and information that are directly related to your programs. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, no, we invited several speakers to discuss certain things and tips, no, on how to apply for a job and prepare yourself for the actual world of work. And this Career Congress is just a prelude to our job fair, which will be held towards the end of this academic year. And of course, no, several reputable companies are also joining us, no, where you can apply for a job. And of course, we are all doing this, no, these things as part of our commitment and services to our graduating students and alumni. And this is also our way of thanking you for trusting LPU for your college education. And of course, at this point, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our Career Development and Alumni Office, Dr. Alex Ilagan, and his staff for all their effort and hard work in providing you worthwhile activities that will help you in your future career. Special thanks also to all our reliable partners and speakers for their untiring support in all our activities. And to all our graduating students here, very soon you will be graduating from our university. So keep all your best, since we want to see all of you graduate with flying colors and eventually find a good job and become successful professionals. So with that, I wish you all good luck and success in your future undertakings. Thank you very much and God bless everyone.
Thank you for that, Sir Eric. I'm back. Thank you, sir. Have a great day po. Appreciate taking the time, sir, to address all of our students here today. So thank you for that, Sir Eric. So to everyone, I'm back. I'm Shari. I'll be hosting the session for today. So Sir Kim, thank you for covering for me a while ago. So as usual, to our audience, we'd like to know where you're from. So please keep it coming. Your comments, we see it. Name and course, thank you. Yun lang yung kailangan namin. And then yung mga special hashtags na request sa inyo ni Miss Ellie. So here is our schedule for this afternoon. First things first, we will be doing resume link by jobs180.com. Next, steps to ace the interview, which will be discussed by ADP Philippines. And for the last part of our session for today, we will be doing industry expectations with our panelists from Phinma Education, Colegio San Agustin, PNP, Inquirer, and DZXL/CEU Manila. So to everyone who's tuned in right now, please tag your friends and your classmates. Please make sure that they don't miss out on this event, because later we will be releasing the evaluation form as proof para sa attendance ninyo. Ayan. So, thank you who's here. Thank you to everyone who's here. And thank you for being on time. Yan. So let's go to our first speaker for this afternoon. Our first speaker is Sir Chua. He is the Managing Director for Jobs20.com. He has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. He is a trusted resource speaker and he has done over 1,000 career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. So you met him earlier. So he's coming back to deliver a talk for everyone. So Sir Kim, you know the drill. The floor is yours.
Everyone, allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. No? Not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan na tinatawag natin resume link. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano to magiging job-winning tool or job-winning resume ito, meron akong checklist. So go with me, no, with all these checklists. Your checklist should include the following. Number 1, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi mapapansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have one file. Hindi dapat maraming files na iba-iba sinesend sa mga companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist is that dapat tipid ito, wala itong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, itong pinaka-importante sa lahat, this should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay, more than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung protectionan. And using this tool, this is the most secured resume kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na resume link. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at dun ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. Okay? So, alam nyo na ano mga information yan. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos, ano gagawin kong resume link? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So, if ever lang, mayroon kang kapangalan, okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot, pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo, gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos, o kaya Santos J, o kaya JS, o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay, wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, huwag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over-creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eljablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, patricia@facebook.com na email. Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer be able to receive notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It is very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw ay makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So sayang lang. So you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register. Wala tong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpletong detalye nyo. So how do you do that? You go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-login. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo, kayo lang may alam yan, at lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kina-account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay, lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po, lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot, lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. Diba? Kasi takot kayo, baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often than you open your social media account. So I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak na isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis tayo makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede nyo pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no switch, on, off switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes, if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Edi lagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or ano mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag-door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, okay, pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay, so walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating mo sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gaano karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo. Just make sure lang alam mo yung seminar na yon. Kaya baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat dito ay honor student. Diba? Ayan, nag-agree marami sa inyo. So, hindi lang po ang achievement nakabase sa academic excellence. Some of you are student leaders. So, if you're active sa school, you also put it here kung ano yung mga pinagkakabalahan nyo. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, even outside the school. If you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? Yan yung mga achievement ninyo. So, you put it here. Bakit? Because what you're doing now is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to that prospective company. Okay? Now, when it comes to the skills and languages, ito yung common observation namin mga HR. Pagdating sa skills, nilalagay mo lang na skills yung mga umiikot lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat communication arts ang course mo, com arts lang ang skills na alam mo. Hindi porkat engineering ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-engineering. Hindi porkat tourism or HRM ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-tourism at pang-HRM. Maybe some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography, into something else, arts, crafts, whatever. Lahat ng yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing here is you're marketing yourself more effectively. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, ilagay mo dito lahat ng skills na alam ninyo. Pagdating po sa languages, ganun din. Huwag mong ilimit yan sa 2 lengguwahe lang. Because I'm sure alam nyo na yung 2. Kung 2 lang talaga alam nyo, din 2 lang. Ano tong 2 to? English and Tagalog or Filipino. Okay? Now, if you know other local dialect, Bisaya, Kapampangan, Sabacano, Ilonggo, you can also put it here. If you know foreign languages, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, diba, Korean, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. When it comes to the references, sigurado ko yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang malaking tanong dito kayo ba'y kilala nila? Sana oo, di ba? Kasi madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have, kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. Now, ilagay mo sa loob ng resume link. Just transfer them here inside the resume link para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So, yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? Itong mga susunod kong papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma, di ba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga? Hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo, di ba? Certificate, diploma, yan. Ebidensya yan. Okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBA clearance, police clearance, di ba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede kang mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets nyo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase, same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teachers, same yung curriculum, pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat, walang experience sa trabaho, how will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay, ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo. Kung wala, manghiram sa kaibigan. Okay, hiram mo sa kaibigan mo. I-record mo yung selfie video mo. You say something interesting about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 minute lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Ano gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? Just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang siya. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So, kung di mo type yung sagot, edi-delete mo. Pag type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Maraming mga video channel na libre, yung mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O, di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa diskarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. Plain background. Okay? Plain background, tumingin kayo sa camera. Wear something, of course. Wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yung mga sample na yan, hindi po maganda example yan. Okay? So, huwag kayong maglagay ng mga ganun kasi mga sample ng profile picture. Now, another good thing pa that will make you stand out using the resume link is your cover photo. Yes! A picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. Hirap kayo i-express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-sulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, eye expert. Di ba? Ina sa kanan, ano siya? Sabi ng iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Diba? Halimbawa, o sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But now, the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologist, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So, depende yan how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, ito. Itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So, I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan member ng Akit Bahay Gang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So, kung nagpakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon, interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamalan ko yung mga aplikante, nakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam, o, diba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki, yung pala babae. Diba? So you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan, blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper, bond paper, or long bond paper, short bond paper na walang laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay? Sayang lang oras nyo tsaka oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? When I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, parang chill-chill lang, no? Parang ganoon na dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you'll be, expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So, sa mga personality nyo. Alam niyo na anong dapat nyo gawin at hindi nyo dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si iExpert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything. From top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingiin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So bakit ko sinabi sa inyo na papabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang buhay nyo. Pati buhay din ng HR na papabilis. Because once you submit all this information to that company, when the HR opens your resume link and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo atensyon, gusto kanya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Diba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Diba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills or sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design, diba? Gets mo ibig ko sabihin. Wag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung oras. Okay? Time is of the essence, lalo na ngayon. So you put everything there, at least pag nakita ng HR, diretso na kagad sa pagprocess sa inyo. Okay? A lot of you are now thinking, Sir, pag gumawa ako ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko nakalantad na sa buong internet. The answer is, no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na the most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. Follow the screen. Inside your dashboard, when you log in, you can go to your settings. Sa settings mo, to be specific, puntahan mo yung privacy settings. In your privacy settings, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O, di ba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat na binigyan mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila real time. As in real time. Diba? Ayos, diba? Sige, tuloy natin. Tuloy pa natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun. No? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. Complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo atensyon, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So, better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details na updated. Okay? So, yan. So, tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So, you're now thinking, okay to paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita ng iba-ibang paraan. Okay, lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, and that's where you now start to look for companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay, wag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there are a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and if you want to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nagsubmit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka ng 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position in applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that your details are still updated. So you have to update those information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala nang pabalik-balik. Hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year. Ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala lang ganun. Okay? Another practical application. When you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position and this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan, tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to your information soon. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan eh. Ang kulit, saka nakapagod. Anong gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O di ba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka na padala doon sa HR. Nakakapagod yan. Hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa part din namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na lang kayo ng details nyo. Update-update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into one page para tipid na. O, di ba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Itong gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng resume link card. Ano tong resume link card? Sa isang pirasong long bond or short bond paper, mag-design ka ng maraming resume link card. No? Maliliit lang, parang business card ang dating. In one piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante na ilagay mo dyan sa resume link card mo ay syempre ang inyong resume link. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang resume link mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Diba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid. Secured pa. Tingnan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long bond paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo because everything is in that one-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Meron kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung mga kapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cell phone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi, with this day and age, technology na ang gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang. Huwag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the resume link on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So, again, Sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now, but these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the resume link. It already addresses the following. Number one, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na ang pinaka-secure na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, the speed of hire becomes faster. It becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the resume link. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. And you don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganun. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data, pwede ka naman makakonect sa internet na walang data eh. Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Di ba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi, o makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. O, di ba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your resume link to whatever platform you want to share it to. Gusto mo i-text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan pa mag-compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So shout out na lang ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo, especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool. Please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi yung mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. It depends kung sino ang bibigyan mo. Ikaw may ultimate control niyan. Okay? Pangalawang question, is this the same as other job platform like LinkedIn, JobStreet, iba pang mga job site? The answer is no. Meron tong dalawang major difference. Yes. Lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. Of course, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate, no? Para makarelate. You can only use JobStreet resume if you're applying to companies who are also using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam ang Jobs 180, basta alam niya ang resume link mo, pwede niya mabuksan ang profile at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung nabigay mo na, kung na-submit mo na ang JobStreet resume mo sa isang company, wala ka nang pwedeng baguhin. Lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. With your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo, you can always edit it. Enter, save it. Real-time update. Lahat ng binigyan mo ng resume link, updated real-time. Ayos? Okay, tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? Ang sagot dito, hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Di balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang. Di wala nangyari. Di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin, sa jobs180.com, or email us, email me, here sa info@jobs180.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget yung wa. Okay? Baka Kim Chua lang maalala nyo. Na nagsasabing, be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Thank you for that, sir. So to our audience, we are now opening the floor for questions. So pwede niyo po kayong maglagay ng questions niyo if meron kayong gustong tanong kay Sir Kim. So I'll go first to give you time to think about your questions. So question number 1. What are possible red flags, sir, sa mga sites or sa mga job ads ng mga companies po? Pwedeng job site din or pwedeng job ad mismo.
Okay. So I think timely ang mga ganong tanong kasi ang dami rin natin mga virtual platform ngayon na 'di ba, marami tayong nakita mga job advertisements left and right. So for the audience who are listening, ang red flags para sa akin is number 1, if the company is soliciting for your yung may bayad, no? Parang for them to process your application, kailangan magbayad ka para lang nila para before they entertain yung pag-a-apply mo. Remember, if you are applying for a local and direct hiring here in the Philippines, you don't have to pay for anything. As in, absolutely zero yan. No? So kung may mga humihingi ng another thing din na red flag para sa akin is if there's no physical office do yung company, mag-isip na kayo. 'Di ba? Kung ano ba mag-a-apply ka tapos wala silang mabigay na any reference, wala man lang website. Ayun, isa pa yan. Walang website is also another red flag for me. If they just give you say a social media site, no? Example lang, they tell you they have Facebook page, they have whatever page, pero wala silang official website. For me, it's an indicator para sa akin kasi no matter how you look at it, it's ano yan yan yung ito yung mga little things that the company should be able to to have, no, to establish their presence. So aside from those 3 items I mentioned, yung website, yung naniningil, ano nga ba yung sasabi ko, walang physical office, yan. Another thing pa is yung masyadong maraming information hinihingi to the point na pati yung bank account details nyo and all the other personal details hiningin na nila. These are things that potentially red flags. Okay? I'm not saying na lahat ng companies na humingi ng ganong information ay red flag. Mamaya, hiningi nila yung details para doon ka nila susweldohan. Di ba? Doon ka papadala sa inyo yung salary. Di ba? Doon sa bank account nyo. I'm not saying na red flag yun. Di ba? Siyempre, di ba? Valid naman. But if you put these all together, puzzle them together, malalaman mo naman kung yung company medyo kaduda-duda, kung dubious. No? Yun. And then maybe the last item is, if I ask for any information about the company and I cannot find anything, yun talaga. Yun ang mahirap. No? If I go to the internet right now, just type for the company and I don't see anything, yun. Yun na yun. Huwag ka na magsayang ng oras na. Diba? There's a lot of other companies.
Thank you for that, sir. Ito, sir, next question ko is about, kasi diba, right now, we are also screening for internal vacancies natin. So, sir, ano po yung napansin nyo na common na issue or common na sakit ng mga job seekers natin ngayon, especially na tayo yung naka-experience firsthand?
Yes, as an HR ito as an HR, yung perspective ko. One is we get a lot of applicants. We get that because ang bilis ngayon ng virtual platform 'di ba? Kayo hindi na kayo mahihirapan. You don't have to go physically to the company. You just have to click that button and submit your resume link. So, mabilis. The thing is, a lot of applicants are not doing their research. Yung mga nakausap ko, ang nangyayari is I'll ask them one basic question. Why did you apply for this position? Ako pa yung tatanungin pabalik, sir, nag-apply ba ako? So ako parang, So nagsasayang lang tayo ng oras pagka ganun, di ba? You didn't do your research. Now, another thing I would normally ask naman din is that, what do you know about the company? And a lot of times, I say mga 7 out of 10, yung mga aplikante, pag sumagot, Alam mo yun, parang nag-iisip lang sila on the spot and while they're trying to do side checking or kung ano man habang kausap ka dun sa kabila virtuals, nag-check sila. Alam mo yun, they're trying to buy time to do research at that moment. Hindi pwedeng ganun. You have to prepare. No, wala naman bawal sa dami ng kumpanyang pwede mong applyan. You can apply to as many, but make sure lang you do your research. Isa pang napansin ko kadalasan is marami sa mga aplikante paasa. I put that term lang para lang makarelate yung audience. No? Kung ayaw yung nagpapaasa yung mga kumpanya sa inyo, ganun din naman yung mga applicants. Huwag kayo magpaasa sa mga companies. When they reach out to you, please answer the call. Diba? If you cannot take the call, you see a missed call or a message, diba, that they sent to you, please reply man lang. Diba? Have that be polite enough to reply man lang if you're not interested. More so if you're interested, sagutin nyo yung tawag, replyan nyo, 'di ba? Pag hindi ka interesado, at least put some closure para kami mga HR, we can move forward, 'di ba, to the next applicants. Alam namin kung anong status din. 'Yon. Those are some of the five things 'yan. Pinagsama-sama ko na parang yung mga ganon information.
Yan. Thank you for that, sir. Thank you for sharing your stories. Maybe ask po, last bit na lang po about internal hiring over at jobs180.com
Yes.
para we can promote as well.
Promote na rin natin. So right now we have a lot of vacancies. If for for full-time position, we're looking for people who wants to be part of our IT team as web developer, and the other one is for customer support. So those are for full-time positions. If you know friends, you know anyone, may mga classmates kayo who also wants to explore virtual internship, meron kaming virtual internship program. So we can cater to as many applicants as possible kasi virtual nga naman siya. Diba? So what you need to do is just submit your resume link. Diyan po sa nagsuscroll na link right now. Look at the screen. No? You see there, schools with an S. schools.jobs180.com/LPU Batangas. Dire-diretso lang yan. Or you can go to jobs180.com, okay, /jobs180. Just look for jobs180 and then submit your resume link there. Now, if you want to email, pwede rin naman, go to info, that's INFO, info@jobs180.com and submit your resume link. Okay, yun na gamitin nyo, resume link na para mas mabilis yung pag-process natin. Okay? There.
So thank you for that, Sir Kim. So sir, we the LPU Batangas CDAP office prepared a certificate for you. So this certificate of appreciation is awarded to Sir Kim Chua for his invaluable contribution as guest speaker in the 6th Career Congress of Lyceum of the Philippines Batangas, held via virtual platform, given this 27th of May 2022, signed by Dr. Alex Ilagan, Director of CDAP, Dr. Cecilia C. Pring, VP for Academics and Research, and Sir Frederick Badillo, Senior VP and Vice President for Finance. Sir Kim, thank you.
Thank you rin. Thank you rin to the LPU team, LPU family. Salamat po sa mga taga-CDAP at sa buong LPU. Salamat. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Sir Kim. So next up, so we have our next speaker here from ADP. She will be discussing tips to ace the interview. We have Ms. Kat Herrera, HR business partner for ADP Philippines. Ms. Kat has been with ADP for more than 9 years. She is currently an HR business partner, but also has a decade of experience in training and development. Her most notable achievement career-wise is her certification in New Jersey to facilitate MDP or Management Development Program. Ms. Kat was married in Istanbul to her Turkish husband in 2017. She is an animal advocate and has 4 beautiful dogs. Ms. Kat?
Hi, Sherry. Good
Hi, ma'am.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Ma'am, can we test your deck?
Sure. Absolutely.
Ayan. And so to our audience, don't be shy to put in your questions para pwede natin itanong kay Ms. Kat after ng talk niya, no?
Yes.
Okay. Let's check it, ma'am, if it's
Yep.
up.
Is it working?
Are
Are you able to see my screen
Can
now?
we please put it up for the team? Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Sorry?
yan. Okay na siya, ma'am.
Yan.
So, ma'am, I'll
Okay.
leave you to it.
Sure. Thanks, Sherry.
I'll be back for Q&A. Thank you, Ms.
All
Kat.
right. You're welcome. Hi, guys. Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting us to speak in this career talk of yours. I'm Kat Herrera. I'm one of the HR business partners at ADP. And like Sherry mentioned, actually, I've been with ADP for more than 10 years. It's coming up to 11 years already in September. That's how long I've been with the company. And if you're wondering what ADP is a human capital management company, and mostly we handle our clients' HR services, payroll, compensation, benefits, and the like. So if you are interested in applying, you can definitely submit your application through jobs180.com/ADP. Now, my topic for today is something that I think would be very useful to all of you, because I know that in probably a year, 2 years, or 3 years from now, you would be seeking for your careers and your jobs. So I would like to share with you some tips on how to ace your interviews. As future applicants, I'm sure you have some apprehensions, some fears, and today we're going to talk about how you can be better equipped for your future job interviews. And of course, we will identify the interview guidelines. The agenda would be the fears and anxiety that you might experience, the quick remedies, some relaxation techniques. I will also show you the selection funnel as well as interview tips, star, words to avoid, and final tips. We have a full packed day today, right? So let's get right on it. What are the common interview fears that some of you might have? On the screen, you will see there just a couple of things that you might experience, or some of the apprehensions, misgivings that you might be feeling during, or not even during, even before you apply. You might already be feeling like a nervous wreck, so to speak. You have there being unprepared, making a bad impression, underqualified, being late, general anxiety. But you know what I'll tell you? All of these things are actually within your control. Especially nowadays, Kim mentioned that yes, the landscape has changed. Now things are even easier because most companies are able to do interviews and the recruitment process online. That cuts off your commuting time. Imagine that before you have to go and be at the interview probably an hour or two prior to your schedule. Now, you really have no excuse, no reason to be underprepared. And Kim also said that yes, there are applicants who, ironically, I don't know why, but they do not even know the company that they're applying for. To me, that is just unexcusable, because that's the easiest thing that you have to do. Actually, that's the first thing that you have to do when you're searching for a company. Even before you click on submit resume, you should have already made your research, do your due diligence, and check what the company is all about. Because why would you apply at something or somewhere where you don't have any idea what it is? Right? So the simple thing to do is to just go on the internet, search what they're all about, look at the products and services that they offer, and even search for the values, the mission, and the vision, because those are equally important, especially here at ADP. We really do live by our values, and we want to know that the applicants also hold the same principles as we do. It's not only about the compensation when you're looking for jobs, it's also finding the right company which would be the best fit for you and what you believe in, right? Making a bad impression. How can you make a bad impression? Of course, it's easy to make a bad impression if you are late, if you're underprepared, but also if you're rude. We always say you have to be confident during your interviews. But remember, there's a thin line between being confident and being arrogant. Please do not cross that line. Please do not be cocky, because this is one of course, for you guys, since you are just fresh graduates, you might not have a lot of experience yet. But for tenured associates, they might feel that, I've already been in the industry for a long time. I've learned everything that I can. That's not true. That is not true. Every day is a new learning experience, and every person, everybody still definitely has room to grow. So be humble during your interviews. Being underqualified, don't worry, because nowadays, especially with ADP, we accept that you do not have the experience yet. Actually, to me, it's very funny when companies used to ask for people with experience, but how can somebody get experience if no company would give it to them, right? Very ironic. Don't worry about being underqualified. Make sure, though, that you look at the skills that the position is aiming for. Because if you are, for instance, applying as a customer service representative for voice support, then definitely you must possess at least a good command of the English language, because you would know that you will be talking to clients over the phone, and those are native speakers, clients in the US, in Canada, and other countries. So buff up your, not only your resume, but before your interview, buff up your skills. You can do that by practicing doing mock interviews with your friends and family members, taking turns. But most importantly, you have to practice the language, because no matter what industry it is, I believe that good or fluency in the English language is always a great skill to have. Not knowing not knowing the answer to the interviewer's question, don't worry. If you did not understand, if you did not fully comprehend the question at first, don't pretend that you did. All right, don't just come up with answers that, hey, are out of the blue, or you think is the right answer, even if you're not sure that you know the question. If you did not get it, you can ask, you can clarify. It's better to ask questions rather than pretend that you understood. Being overqualified, never ever feel that you're overqualified. One story my husband Shari mentioned is Turkish, right? So he had to apply for jobs here. He used to be a lawyer in Turkey, but he had to apply for jobs here. And the first question the manager said was, "Don't you think you're overqualified for this job?" Because he was applying for a financial analyst position. And he said, "Nope, I don't think I am. I want this job and I will do everything to be good at it." So there's no such thing as being overqualified. A job is a job. Is if you are willing to learn, if you are willing to really put your best effort in, then I'm sure wherever you're at, whatever career path you choose, you would definitely excel in it, so long as you put your heart in it. All right? So those are the common interview fears. And in order for you to understand that, hey, I'm feeling nervous, you also have to be aware of the symptoms that you will experience. Symptoms of anxiety would be mental and physical. As you see on the screen, for the mental, negative thinking, difficulty concentrating, emotional flatness, irrational thoughts, and moodiness. Physical manifestations would be shaking legs, feeling nauseous, shortness of breath, sweaty palms, raising heartbeat, cold feet, dry throat, breathing difficulty, and poor coordination. If you have observed that you are displaying some of these symptoms, you have to pull yourself together, calm yourself, and you have to just pause. Never underestimate the power of pause. Pause, gather your thoughts, breathe, and then answer. That's how you would do it. Let's see what the quick remedies are for some of those fears and symptoms that you will be experiencing in your future job search. If you always have this mannerism of touching your face and your hair, you can control your gestures by keeping your hands visible or taking a pen to keep them busy. Actually, even better than taking a pen, you can just put your hands on your lap to prevent your hands from moving. That's it. Put your hands on your lap, especially for virtual interviews. The interviewer would only see the top half of your body. So at least you can minimize your distracting mannerisms then. Closed body position, arms and legs crossed. Yes, please do not do that. Just relax, find your best sitting position, make sure that your posture is good, but don't cross your arms, because that would seem as if you are being defensive or that you are closed off. Remember, the first few minutes of the interview, you have to establish trust and rapport with your interviewer. And body language plays a lot in building that. If you have sweaty palms, you can have your handkerchief, wipe, a cloth that you can use so that you can manage that. For voice trembling, take a deep breath, as I mentioned earlier, relax your muscles, relax everything, and then speak afterwards. Dry mouth, what can you do? If it is a virtual interview, absolutely you can take a sip of water. But if it's face to face, normally you don't have water with you. What do you do? Again, pause, pause, and pause. Swallow if you have to, and then answer. Hard to concentrate if you are having difficulty understanding the question. Once again, you can ask questions. to structure your thoughts, and you also can clarify. Do not be shy if you did not understand, but do not always keep asking, because that also means that, hey, maybe this person, this applicant is distracted if you keep asking questions after questions, right? So make sure that you also listen attentively and that you focus on your interviewer, especially if it's virtual, because for virtual interviews there might be a lot of distractions. Please keep your phone away. Do not touch your phone. Make sure that you are in a quiet place, and make sure there would be no interruptions during your interview. If you are stumbling over your words, it means that you are speaking too fast. So, once again, slow down and breathe. Blinking, that would be very distracting, right? And sometimes a little bit creepy if you keep doing it too much. Make sure that you keep eye contact, but do not stare as well, because staring is rude. If you are so shy and nervous that you cannot stare into the person's eyes, what you can do is stare at this part, the forehead. And that would give the impression to your recruiter that you are still maintaining eye contact. I hope the quick remedies would help you. I hope that you jotted them down, but really, everything can be controlled so long as you are aware that you are doing it. And but at the end of it all, you experience these symptoms of anxiety because you're feeling nervous. One thing that you can do even before the interview to lessen your nerves is to make sure that you are prepared. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Again, my colleague Jai always mentions proper preparation prevents poor performance. And you can always apply that to everything, not just to your interviews. Always make sure that you come prepared. Other relaxation techniques that I can share with you are these four things: visualization, listening to music, yes, and cat power posing. Really, can I do that? Absolutely. But again, these are just tools. If you think that some of these do not work, that's fine. Don't force yourself to do it, because it's just like a tool belt. Use it as you see fit, or use it as you would deem appropriate, because if a tool works for me, it doesn't mean that it automatically works for you. You have to find what works best for you, what you're going to be most comfortable with. Visualization is just manifesting success. I am a firm believer of the law of attraction. You put forth your energy out there to the universe, and the universe will respond in kind. So, if you are manifesting that you're going to have a successful interview, the chances are more likely than you will. So long as you also worked hard and prepared, right? If you are On the other hand, if you are already visualizing that you will fail, then probably you're already setting yourself up just for that. So make sure that you are your number one cheerleader. You have to prop yourself up. Like, you have to be your number one. Hey, hey, Kat, you can do this. You got this. You're already prepared. You have the skill set for it. There's nothing that can go wrong. Okay? That's it for visualization. Listening to music, it can be any music that you think will help you relax. Even if it's rock, it doesn't have to be always classical music, or it doesn't have to be just the violin or something instrumental. No, it can be rock, it can be metal, whatever floats your boat, so long as it helps you. Power posing, again, some of you might think, yikes, that's corny. I don't want to pose like a superhero. That's okay. You don't have to pose. Just say, hey, you're a rock star. You're going to ace this interview. As simple as that, right? That's already manifesting, and that's already building up your self-esteem and your confidence. Breathing, of course. Breathe for 4 counts, it says here, but do not make it too obvious. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's not like that. The more that you practice good breathing or these breathing exercises, the more natural it's going to be for you. So breathe in, breathe out, and try to, again, think of happy thoughts. Remember, the interview is just a conversation, really. It is a way for the interviewer to get to know you, to find out how you work, to find out how you would be as a future employee. And so you have to also make sure that you are keeping the conversation going. Don't just answer with one word answers like, yes, I did that. Nope, I do not, right? That would be very, very counterproductive. And later on, I will talk to you about how the interview questions will be structured, and I'll give you some tips on how to answer them. All right. For the funnel, if you're wondering how ADP does their recruitment, first of all, we post the job vacancies on Jobs 180 or our ADP page, Facebook page. And then when we receive the applications, we sort through the resumes, we screen, and then we call them. Our phone screeners usually would ask the basic questions along with the requirements and the criteria. Are you willing to work at night? Are you willing to work on shifting schedule, holidays, weekends? Are you willing to work on site in Makati and take in calls? Those are the things that are going to be essential because that's the nature of the job. Provided that you say yes and that you already have the communication skills as well, you will be endorsed for the recruitment interview or the initial interview with a recruiter. Right? After that, should you pass, you're going to be endorsed to the final hiring manager. And if you also are successful at that, you're going to have the job offer. For job simulation, that usually happens during training and nesting. Targeted selection interviews, we'll talk about that later. And of course, the strong start, because the goal is not just to be accepted in the company, right? The goal really is to build a strong career. So you have to make sure that not only are you good at interviews, you're also going to be able to pass the training, communications training, product training, 3rd month evaluation, 6-month evaluation, and then you can be regularized. So see, that's how the process is. When it comes to interview tips, first of all, be at your best when it comes to attire. Yes, that is true. But we're not saying that you have to come in all formal. Nowadays, companies just require you to come in business casual. That's fine. Button up shirt or just avoid just being dressed so casually that they're wearing flip-flops, sandals, shorts. For virtual interviews, shorts would not be seen. That's true. But of course, for face-to-face, you have to make sure that you are dressed appropriately. And not only is it because your interviewer expects it from you, it also helps to you. It helps your self-esteem. You've already heard the phrase, dressed to impress, right? Or dressed for success. If you are feeling confident about yourself, the chances are the interview would go more smoothly because you're going to be comfortable speaking up and opening up. Know the position and company. I cannot stress this enough. We've talked about this before and I will say it again. Do your due diligence. Research about the company, find out what makes them tick. It would build rapport. It would establish that, hey, this person, this applicant is really committed and serious about this job. Prepare scenario explanations. Yes. Later, we'll talk about the scenario questions and how you would answer them. But most of the time, for targeted selection interviews, the recruiters would ask you about things that already happened, your experiences in school. There would be no theoretical questions because what are we going to do with that, right? You can say, I will be the most perfect employee. Yes, but how would we know that you will be? For sure. So that's why we go back and check your past experiences to see what your patterns are, to see how you've dealt with certain situations. Follow the interviewer's lead. What does that mean? It means that if the interviewer is trying to build rapport, do not just be so stiff and formal. Do not be robotic. Just go with the flow and make sure that you also are conversing with the recruiter. Do not just give one word answers. Always, always expound and elaborate. That's the thing. That's important. So that the recruiter can get to know your skills and your strengths. All right. Now that we've talked about the interview tips, I kept mentioning about the STAR or the targeted selection format for situational questions. For situational questions, instead of saying, I am good at multitasking, what you can do is to break it down into the situation, the task, the action, and the result. Give a specific example wherein you prove that you are good at multitasking. Tell the recruiter what the situation or the task was, the actions that you took, and how it ended or the result. Let's try to practice. For instance, the recruiter asked you, tell me about a time when you needed to complete several things at the same time. What did you do to get the work done? You would say, I always manage my tasks well. I'm good at time management. Those are the generic answers which don't really tell us anything about your work ethic. So what you can do instead is to answer like this. This is not long by any means. No, this is actually a very concise answer. If you look at it, remember we're looking for the situation, task, action, and result. If you look at it, the situation there is in the first sentence. Every morning before the store opens, there's a lot to do to get it ready. Restocking, cleanup, taking markdowns, things like that. Last week, 2 people called off sick on the same day, so we had even more prep work than usual. You've already set the stage. That's the situation. Now, what did you do? So I prioritize the work based on what would have the greatest impact on customers, restocking, cleanup, things like that. Then we did the lower priority things during the day as we had time. That right there is your action. What action did you take? You prioritized, which means that you are good at time management. See, you were already able to give backup data or evidence to clearly state that yes, you are indeed good at prioritizing, organizing, and multitasking. The result, then, do not forget the result because it is equally as important. The store was fully stocked and looking good when we opened. See, it's very, very easy. And the more that you practice STAR, the easier it would get. It would become second nature to you if you train yourself to always answer in this format. Kat, should it always be STAR? Should it always be in that order? The answer to that is no. Don't worry if you forgot the situation first and you immediately go into the action, that is fine because there is no specific order. For instance, for example, number 2, what have you done to make your team more efficient and organized? The answer, if you noticed, the first sentence is not really the situation. The situation is right in the middle. So that's okay. It can be in any order. The person I replaced had only trained the most experienced people in these things. So when one of them didn't make it to work, we had more tasks than people trained to do them. That made life difficult for me and the team. And where is the answer? You already saw it in the first sentence. I cross-trained the team in all the responsibilities of running the store, including opening and closing and balancing the register. And lastly, the result is that it hasn't happened since people have been cross-trained and every team member said that their jobs are easier and more interesting now. There you go. Now you have a tool. It is very, very useful. I kid you not. You can use this for any situational question that you encounter in the future and make it a habit. Make it a habit, and it's going to get easier and easier for you to answer using the STAR format. All right. I hope that you were able to learn at least a couple of tips and tricks. I would also give you one more. These are the words to avoid because if you use usually and generally, those are actually fillers. It adds no value to your sentence. It adds no value to your thought and your answer. And you're just using them as crutch words. Especially if you use it too much, it can become distracting. So just eliminate that from your vocabulary. We. Why would you answer we? You're the only one there. Take ownership. It's the best way to take ownership is to say I. I was able to finish a project on time in college when I did this and that. I. It should always be I and not we. I believe or I think. That connotes doubt, uncertainty, and you want to, of course, convey that you are sure and that you're confident. So remove the I believe and I think. I wouldn't have. It means it connotes regret instead of saying you wouldn't have. Stress what you did. Stress the action that you took. Next time, no need for next time because once again, we are interested in how you handled it and how you, for instance, overcame challenges or corrected errors and mistakes, right? So what you would have said is, I did this to rectify the situation. There you go. Some of the words to avoid. I hope that you remember them in the future and try to eliminate them from your vocabulary. We are wrapping up this session as well as wrapping up the interview. When you are asked, do you have any questions for me by the recruiter? Normally, it's good to ask questions because it signifies that you're interested. You want to know the next steps. You can ask that. What would happen? What can I look forward to next, right? What would be if I were hired? What would be the metrics or the gauge for my performance? How would I be measured? What is expected of me in the first 30, 60, 90 days? Those are the questions that you would ask, and it makes you sound very smart. and very intelligent because you're already looking at the big picture. You're already planning the future and forecasting, so to speak. Now that you've wrapped up the interview, I just have some final tips for you before we end the session. A smile and a strong handshake will make you look and feel confident, and it will establish trust. Easiest thing is to smile. Smile, smile, smile. Because no matter how good you are, no matter how technically savvy you are, no matter if you know everything about a certain topic, if you are not personable and if you do not gain the trust of your interviewer, then that will be for naught. Remember, we're not only hiring for skills, we're also hiring for attitude. Be your normal self, not your interview self. Absolutely. Do not just answer in the way that you think we want to hear, right? You have to make sure you're being your authentic self because as interviewers, we've done this for so long. We definitely know we have ways of knowing if you are telling the truth or not. So please be genuine and authentic in your answers. Do not try to hide things, do not try to manipulate, and do not try to invent things or answers out of thin air. Think of the interview as the conversation. I cannot stress that enough. It's a two-way conversation. Make sure that you are doing your part. Make sure that you're elaborating and expounding on your answers. Remember, the employer needs you as much as you need them. That's true. Actually, not as much, but they definitely need a good employee. And that's what we're looking for. So don't be too pressured. Don't be too pressured. Just make sure that you are prepared and that you are going to be able to really represent yourself, the true self that you have, and not just the imaginary one that you think employers would want to hire. Even if you fail, there is a plenty of other job options. I think the a good way of saying that is really, even if you fail, there would be other chances of getting a better or making a better interview, having a better interview the next time. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't get disheartened if at first you don't succeed. Just go ahead and try and try and try and try, right? There is no harm in trying because every interview that you do, every interview that you attend is just a great learning experience. You learn from each and every one of them, and that makes your next interview better and better. All right, that's it for me, guys. I hope that you were able to learn some tips and tricks of the trade. Sherry, do we have questions,
Thank you for that.
clarifications, or any violent reactions from the audience?
Thank you for that, Miss Kat.
You're
So,
welcome.
opening the floor for questions po for the audience. So, I'll go first, ma'am, so they can think about their questions. Question number
Sure.
one, is it okay for fresh grads to negotiate salary? What's your take on this?
That's a very good question. For fresh graduates, normally from my interviews, I hear that I don't have really a set salary because I'm looking for the experience. But I will tell you, we companies normally already have a range of what we offer. And don't worry because we're not going to give you the short end of the stick. We're not going to cheat you out of what is rightfully yours. So if there is a set range, you will fall into that range depending on how the interview goes or depending on the business unit that you're going to be assigned for. Realistically and honestly speaking, the only way that a fresh graduate can really exert or at least be very forceful about the negotiation is if you have a lot of certifications, a lot of technical skills or communication skills that the company really value and need. But most of the time, we already have a set standard, the range that we will offer depending on the experience. So it's not only for fresh grads, it's also for people, for instance, with less than 2 years of experience, people with 2 years or more of experience. So there really is a bracket for those things. You can try, you can definitely say that you're going to be factoring in transportation and such, but at the end of the day it's still going to be the decision of the business unit. Don't get me wrong, it's not the decision of the recruiter, it's always up to the business unit director when it comes to the salary.
Okay. Thank you for that, ma'am. Next
You're
question po
welcome.
would be, may we ask about the openings and vacancies over at ADP that our audience can look into?
Sure, absolutely. We do have internships if you're interested in that. We definitely encourage you to apply. And for the full time positions that we have, what we're looking for are operations analysts. The operations analyst post is the voice support position. It's frontline, meaning you will answer calls regarding payroll, taxes, benefits, and the likes. And as I mentioned earlier, it's going to be at night. There would be some shifting schedule working on Philippine holidays as well. So if you are amenable to those things, yes, please do submit your application using the Jobs 180 link.
Thank you for that, Miss Kat. So, to our audience, sure na nawala kayong questions, ha? So, ma'am, CDAP prepared a certificate for you. So, this certificate of appreciation is awarded to Miss Kat Herrera for her invaluable contribution as guest speaker in the 6th Career Congress of Lyceum of the Philippines, Batangas, held via virtual platform given this 27th of May 2022, signed by Dr. Alex Ilagan, Director of CDAP, signed by Dr. Cecilia Sipring, VP for Academics and Research, and Sir Frederick Badillo, Senior Vice President and VP for Finance. Ms. Kat, on behalf of our team, we thank you for continuously accepting our invites po. Thank you, Ms. Kat.
You're welcome. Thank you as well for the opportunity. Take care, everyone.
Sorry. Thank you, Miss Kat. Na-cut off na siya. Okay, so to our audience, we have like prepared a short game for you guys. So we'll put it up. Simple game lang. You just have to guess the word. And please don't fight me because Miss Ellie of the CDAP office will be picking the winners. Okay? So we have 5 questions and the prize is LPU merchandise. So they can claim it as CDAP office at SHL 107. So let's go. Let's start the game. Okay, comment lang, no? Ayan. So, lahat ito ay related sa ating event today. So, lagay nyo lang yung comment nyo, yung answer nyo doon sa ating comment section. Tapos, pipili kami ng winner. Ayan. Uy, may ano to guys, may prize to. Ako, I wanted to guess. I wanted to click next slide. I just know the first word. Okay. Do we have a winner? Do we have a winner? Ayan. Denise Abante. You got it right. Thank you, Denise. Later, ano natin. Sabihin ko sa'yo kung saan ka pwede mag-play. SHL 107. Denise. Okay. Next. Basta lahat lang yan related sa session natin today. 5 questions lang to people ha. So we claim it as SHL 107 CDAP office. Okay. Do we have a winner? Miss Ellie? Catherine Aborot, you got it right. Thank you, Catherine. Prize po nasa SHL 107. Thank you. Yan. So, next slide po. Okay. Okay, sige nga. Let's check. Ako, I don't know. Hindi. I think I know na. I think I know the answer na. Okay, do we have a winner? Catherine Aborot again. Kath, 2 points ka na. You got 2 answers correct. News anchor. How about this one? Do we have the correct answer? Let's check. Pero nakita ko na yung tamang sagot. Sino po ang nanalo? Let's give the chance to others. Kasi wag ka na daw sumagot. Sorry. O hindi ako yung nag-ano. I'm not the one who is calling the shots. Mamigay ka naman daw, Kat. Okay, sige. Waiting for Miss Ellie to release a name. Pero ako, I know the answer. Jonel Matthew Cueto. Ayan, Professor. Next slide. Okay. Mhm. Bawal sirit. Kailangan masagot. Ang hirap. Ayan, okay. Okay, do we have a winner? We have a winner. It's Rad. 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 Okay. Pangalan pala. Rad. Okay, thank you. Okay. So thank you for participating. Again, the prizes, you can claim it at SHL 107. Look for Miss Ellie and she'll give it to me. Ayan. So thank you for participating, people. So now we do the last part of our session today. Our panelists are backstage na, no? So we will be discussing career or industry expectations in the fields of criminology, education, journalism. So we have here we have like a powerful mix of panelists today. So I read through their I read through their credentials. So first panelist we have Miss Annabella Simbulan of Phinma Education. Miss Babs has more than 25 years of professional experience in communication, marketing communication, editorial consultancy, public relations, stakeholder management, government relations, project management, training, regulation, compliance, and business development. Currently, she heads the Alumni and Corporate Engagement Unit at Phinma Education, whose mandate is to help improve the employability outcomes of students through viable partnerships. She was with Manila Water Company for 10 years as its communication manager, compliance manager, and head for customer affairs and planning. At Manila Water, she was also awarded thrice for managerial excellence. Our next panelist is Miss Josie Silva of CSA Makati, that's Colegio San Agustin. Miss Josie is a licensed psychometrician and guidance counselor. She finished her academic units in Masters of Arts in Psychology from the University of Santo Tomas. She also graduated from the same university with a degree in Masters of Arts in Guidance and Counseling, and her master's thesis was a motivation program for high school students. She has worked in various corporate and educational settings such as Nestle Philippines, Hitachi Philippines, and De La Salle Lipa Tertiary School. At present, she is a guidance counselor in Colegio San Agustin-Makati, and her work assignments include being the moderator of the organization called DIMFNA Society, an organization for mental health students, as well as the career activities monitor for the high school department. She also partnered with the Philippine Mental Health Association for programs such as talks and counseling sessions. Next, we have Police Executive Master Sergeant Manuela Cueto of PNP. She is a public servant employed at the Philippine National Police since 1998. She has served Taal and Balayan Municipal Police Station. At present, she is designated as Chief Clerk of the Batangas Police Provincial Office, Provincial Community Affairs and Development Unit since 2003. In recognition of her exemplary performance in the police service, she received numerous awards and countless medalya ng papuri, medalya ng kasanayan, medalya ng katangi-tanging gawa, and medalya ng kagalingan, among others. She is ever compassionate for her entirely entirely performs her duty as chief clerk at PCADU, giving emphasis on her leadership. Um, P- PEMS, Miss Manuela Cueto, is one of the 10 outstanding policemen in 2008 by the Zonta Club, or the country's Outstanding Policeman in Service in 2009 by Metrobank Foundation Incorporated. She is also recognized as Outstanding Batanggenyo 2021 by Rotary Club of Batangas. Ang haba. Okay, so next up, mas mahaba, Sir Raymund C.S. Soberano, Sir Ray, of the Inquirer Group of Companies. He is the Senior Vice President for Human Resources Group of Inquirer Group of Companies. He has more than 25 years in human resource management, organization and business strategy, leadership and management, organization culture and transformation, organizational re-engineering, labor relations, corporate communications, learning and development, and project management. Currently Senior Vice President and Chief Human Resources Officer of the Inquirer Group of Companies, which include the Philippine Daily Inquirer, Inquirer.net, Inquirer Mega Mobile, and the Inquirer Academy and the Printtown Group of Companies. High HR focus on business growth and sustainability with leadership skills and expertise gained from local and multinational companies. Concurrently, also the Vice President of the Inquirer Foundation, the corporate and social responsibility of the companies comprising the Inquirer Group. Next, we have Sir Ricky Rosales of Centro Escolar University. He is the head of Communication and Media Program of Centro Escolar University in Manila. Sir Ricky is also a PhD candidate from the University of the Philippines Department of Sociology in Diliman, Quezon City, specializing on the sociology of media studies. He is a broadcast journalist popularly known as Professor ng Bayan in broadcast industry. He is a former news anchor from ABS-CBN's DZMM Teleradio and now a news anchor and commentator of Radio Mindanao Network or DZXL 558 Manila. Mr. Rosales is currently the head of communication and media program of Centro Escolar University in Manila, and he has done a lot of media and information literacy workshops and training in the country. So Mr. Rosales also conducts trainings on mass media relations and other skill-based performance like news script writing, newscasting and commentary, and conducting interviews. His research interests include media literacy, political economy of the media, culture, and nationalism. We're done. Those are big words. Let's welcome all of our panelists for this afternoon. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate the time po for taking the time to meet with us and share your expertise with our audience today. So for today po, our audience are from the LPU Batangas crowd. Ayan. So what we're going to do po, this is very short and this is very quick. So, we'll try to address questions po and I'll give it to, I'll call naman po yung the company name and the person. I'll address it properly. Pero mabilisan lang naman po siya. You don't have to expound. Pero for our audience, you get to be a member of the panel. So, pwede rin kayo magtanong sa ating audience, sa ating viewers. If you have questions for them, pwede natin isingit yan. Ayan. So, I'll go for, I'll breeze through the questions na po. I hope you don't mind kasi nakakahiya po mga news and mga journalists yung kasama ko today. So, I hope you don't mind my line of questioning po. So, this question is addressed to Miss Babs. Miss Babs, can you please answer? Can you please go first? The question I'm asking would be, do you feel like you're making a difference in where you are right now?
The short answer is yes. Oo. Kasi I work with low-income students. No? Phinma Education has 9 schools all over the Philippines. We work with low-income students. And in one sentence, what we do is we connect them to employers so that they can in turn help their own families out of poverty. So yes, to your question.
Ma'am, I'm sorry I got cut off or nawala ako for a little bit. Sorry. I didn't hear. I just heard the last bit of your answer. I'm sorry.
It's fine, Shari. Your question was if I feel that I'm making a difference in my current role. The short answer to that is
Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
because I work with Phinma Education. We have 9 schools in the Philippines. We serve low income students by design. And what we do is we link them to employers so that they can get a job after graduation and they can in turn help their own families out of poverty. So yes.
Ayan, the reason why I asked that question, ma'am, kasi we've been advised that there are education majors in the group. So we wanted to what ano kayang role nung ano natin nung schools natin when it comes to kapag industry na yung pinag-uusapan. Kumbaga school as part of the industry po. Ganyan. So next question, I have here directed to PEMS Manuela Cueto of PNP. Ayan. Are there any expectations you had about this career path that you have found differed from reality in both a good or in a bad way po? Like, meron po bang nung nagsisimula kayo, akala nyo ganito, tas iba pala in reality? Like, for our crew majors naman today.
Good afternoon to everyone. Yes, ma'am. I think noong una mahirap ang maging isang pulis kasi akala ko noong una lahat labanan. Pero hindi po pala. Napakasarap po ng maging isang pulis. Katulad ko po ngayon, I'm assigned at the Police Community Affairs and Development Unit. All charity works, serving the community, giving more information about the kung ano na ba ang batas ang meron sa ating bansa. To make aware the community, give them tips for their safety and security, help them in case of emergency, assist them when filing in cases. So hindi po lahat gera, laban. It's more on humanitarian services, a real public servant.
Thank you for that, ma'am. I think magandang reminder yan sa mga pag-graduate pa lang, ma'am, na crew majors. No? At least meron naman silang parang expectation on what they can do or what not to expect like in the next few years to come po, no? In their chosen field po. So this question is directed to Sir Ray of Inquirer. Sir, what are in your industry po, what would you consider are the biggest challenges, and have there been any compromises po in your field of expertise, in your area po, in the industry? Nagkaroon po ba kayo ng parang moment na kailangan nyo mag-compromise?
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. I-qualify ko lang po yung tanong sana if you say challenges sa buong industriya or sa pag-recruit or ano po yung challenges?
Pwede po both, sir. Pwede po sa journalism industry or pwede rin naman po sa HR facet. Pwede rin.
Well, in the field of journalism, in the field of media, I think it is very obvious that these are very challenging times. Lalo ito naging mas dynamic at masalimuot dahil sa prevalence or presence ng social media, iba-ibang channels competing with the traditional forms of media or mass communication, which would be radio, television, print, and lately online. So yung mainstream media would also have its own challenges because of yung pagsulpot ng maraming sources ng information, whether these are real, truthful, or personally fashion information to suit some needs of certain individuals and groups. Yun po yung challenges. So it all boils down now to attracting future journalists or those who would be in practice, who would pursue the real principles or goals of media and journalism. So yun po yung major challenge. Do we make compromises? I cannot specify at the moment. My organization has its own imperfections as well, but we try our very darn best also to seek the truth, to put it out there, and be as much as balanced as we can, so that the public can be able to be that we can be able to serve the public and be a catalyst too in the development of Philippine society in general. Doon sa mga nire-recruit namin, um, ako po ay naniniwala marami pa rin ang gustong maging journalist. So tuwang-tuwa naman po ako na kami na hindi po kami nauubusan ng mga kabataan na nais pa rin magpunta sa journalism. Uh, Kaya patuloy kaming nag-sponsor pa rin. Meron kaming maliit na scholarship program for budding journalists, as well as we also do offer some training uh, for those who are about to graduate para naman makita nila kung paano ang ako ng mga nangyayari sa industriya, mga challenges ng trabaho ng isang journalist. Yun lang po.
Thank you. Thank you for that, sir. So, ako, I'm happy as well na buhay pa rin naman po yung media and journalism in the country despite of disinformation, malinformation, all of those things. So, this question is addressed po to Sir Ricky Rosales. Sir, I hope you don't mind my line of questioning. My question po is what developments like in the future or existing developments could possibly affect future opportunities in your field po? Like, meron na po ba tayong napapansin na mga nag-i-impact siya ngayon?
Okay, magandang hapon. Hi, Cherie, and sa ating esteemed speakers. I'd like to say hi first. I'd like to say hi first sa ating friends from Lyceum, Batangas. No, Cherie, I'm a graduate of LPU in Batangas, no, 2004. And magandang hapon din sa ating mga graduates who are preparing to enter the world of work. Probably, ang tanong mo siguro ay anong mga opportunities. No, alam mo kasi, alam po ninyo, ang nagbago lang naman talaga ay teknolohiya. Well, itong social media and lahat-lahat ng itong bagong teknolohiya, this opens up a lot of opportunities for graduates. Who would have thought na magkakaroon ng social media manager? Sa amin, meron kaming digital assistant, digital news writer, may ganyan eh. So teknolohiya, but I'd like to emphasize, no, for your audience na, and lalo na po do sa Mascom, no, mga anak, walang nagbabago sa fundamentals of journalism. Kung ano ang tinuturo sa eskwelahan, yan pa rin yun, and yan pa rin yung pundasyon na kailangan natin, no. Ang kailangan idagdag ay yung modality, yung pag-intindi mo sa modality. Ito kasi yung nag-open up ng maraming oportunidad at totoong nangangailangan din siya ng different sets of skills na inyong kailangang puntahan. Pero pagkalap ng balita, nabanggit ito ni Sir Raymund kanina, pagkalap ng balita, pagsulat ng balita, pag-i-interview, ethics, the laws of the media, ang bagal-bagal nga ng law, hindi siya nakaka-adapt sa technology, yun pa rin. Yun pa rin po. So, yun, opportunities, babalik ako kasi baka umikot-ikot ako, sinasabi ko, yung development ay basically technological developments. And yung kailangang umadapt ng skills sa pagbabagong ito ng teknolohiya.
Thank you for that, sir. So, this question is directed to, susunod kong tanong po ay for Miss Josie po ng CSA. Ma'am, what do you think are secrets behind getting to where you've gone to? Like, ano po sa tingin nyo yung pwede nyo i-share sa mga job seekers natin, especially yung magsisimula pa lang sa career?
Hi. I think there was a problem with her connection, but then I think I got what she was asking. And what are the secrets to a career, to have a successful career? Well, yes, ma'am Shari, a while ago, I think you had a technical problem, but then I think I understood your question well, and that is what's the secret to have a successful career? I think that's what you're asking. Well, first of all, of course, as
Yes, ma'am, especially for guidance in
Oh yes, yes.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Well, one of the secrets is really to continue learning, because well, as a guidance counselor, after my college degree, I still had to pursue higher education to be able to finish my master's in guidance and counseling. And after the master's degree, that's the only time you can take the licensure for guidance counselors. So of course, it's really needed for you to be able to handle the counseling work. Then it's really important to have the skills. And aside from that, of course, it's also important that you also learn not just through formal education, but also you try to read books. You also try to communicate with other people who also have the same degree, so that you can all share your best practices and be able to really help, especially the students. If you're working in a school, then your clients will be students. But then um, nowadays, counseling is not anymore limited to students. So even in the industry, it's really needed. So an open mind is really really important. And aside from that, you really have to have good listening skills. You really have to have good group processing skills, and you learn that not just through formal education, but also from the other professionals as well. So um, good afternoon, everyone. That's what I think are most important, especially in the line of guidance and counseling. Thank you.
Thank you for that, ma'am. So, continuous learning. Ayan. So, we have questions here coming from the audience. We have from Denise Abante. They say mass communication graduates usually have a hard time in finding a job. Can you share with us your experience in your first job hunting? I think, Sir Ray, you'd be the first person to answer. You'd be a good uh, panel po to answer this question. I audio answer.
Well, my first
And
job was 3 million years ago, when dinosaurs were still roaming Makati and the other cities. But it would not be much different from where you are situated right now. So in finding a job, I try to take as much leads as possible. Look for the good companies. Look at your network, um, and then be prepared. I spent a lot of time uh, reviewing my skills, reviewing what I can give and what I cannot give to the company para realistic din siya. And rehearse that several times so that when I sit down with the interviewer, at least I can get to the first base, di ba? Klaro kagad. So hindi lang dahil may diploma ako, nagtapos ako ng ganitong kurso, masasagot ko yung mga possible questions na pwede niyang tanungin. Uh, yung experience ko rin is to look at my wardrobe. Hindi naman ako pwedeng pumunta sa opisina ni ma'am o ni sir na gusgusin yung ano ko. I should be at least looking presentable. Lagi akong bagong gupit noon at sariwa kahit medyo nakaka-depress kasi may mga letters of rejection yung nakukuha ko. Nauuna na yung mga ibang kasama ko na may trabaho, ako wala pa. So parang, ba't ako? Top 10% ako ng klase siya, may trabaho na ako wala. May mga ganong hanap ng trabaho yata parang paghahanap din ng pag-ibig yan. Eh. Darating yan, uh, pwede mong hanapin, pwede mo ring hindi hanapin. Darating din yan at kakatok sa iyo, but you really have to work on it. So, naranasan ko uh, yung budget ko, kapos na. Yung mga ganun ba? Kung saan-saan ako naglalakad, napupudpud yung sapatos ko kasi kung saan-saan ako pumupunta rin. Napakalayo nung iba. Hanggang makita mo yung trabaho. Magugustuhan mo at magkakagusto din. So that's how you land your first job.
Thank you for that, sir. I'd also
Oh,
like to
paano rin
ask Miss Ba.
pangalagaan mo yung mental health mo?
Ayan. Kasi 'di ba sir, ano nga yun eh, kumbaga talamak yung compare. Uy, bakit siya nauna? Ganun. Uy, di ba ako magaling? Ba't di nila ako tinatawagan? Yun. I would also like to ask Miss Babs the same question. Can you please share with us your first job hunting experience? What was it like?
Um, Sorry, medyo matagal na rin kasi ako out of college. Parang hindi ko na masyadong maalala kung ano yung mga ginawa ko noon. But siguro, ikikwento ko na lang sa mga nakikinig sa atin ngayon. Kasi we are coming from a pandemic na madaming nawalan ng trabaho. So siguro, for those looking for jobs right now, ang lagi ko rin sinasabi sa mga graduates namin sa Phinma Education Schools, huwag masyadong choosy. Parang mas mahalaga na magkaroon ng first job, 'di ba? Mahasa mo yung skill sets mo. Tapos pag meron ka ng sapat na experience, at saka ka lumipat sa talagang gustong-gusto mong trabaho. Pero right now, kasi pag magbasa ka ng balita, there are at least 3 million Filipinos na unemployed. So, you're not just competing with your batchmates, no? You are competing with yung mga nawalan ng trabaho because of the pandemic. So, wag tayong maging choosy. Pag may opportunity ka na nakita, tapos tingin mo naman match yung iyong natapos doon sa job opportunity, siguro I think you should go for it. Lalo na since maraming naghahanap ng trabaho. Wag na natin balikan yung nakaraan, ang tagal na nun eh.
Okay lang, ma'am. Okay lang. So, we have another question that just came in coming from Clarice Cantos. To Officer Manuela Cueto, ito po yung question niya. What are the usual positions for fresh graduates of BS Criminology? Ayan.
Opo, thank you po sa question. May share ko lang po when I was fresh graduate from that university. Una ko pong pinasok ay mag-lady guard. Ako po ay nag-lady guard sa Triad Company sa Malbar, Batangas. Kasi nga po noon hindi pa ako eligible to join the PNP organization. While I'm working as lady guard, nagtook ako ngayon ng entrance examination sa NAPOLCOM. Then when I passed, nag-try ako mag-apply. So, luckily naman, my wish and my prayer ay answered ni Lord, natanggap agad ako. And then, so para sa mga fresh graduate, kung habang naghihintay kayo ng result na hindi pa kayo nakapag-board exam, kanga ni Ma'am Babs, huwag tayong choosy. Ang mahalaga, magkaroon tayo ng trabaho. Then later on, yung talagang gusto natin na maging career, ay yun naman ay pag talagang itinakda ng Diyos ay para doon ka, yun ang calling sa'yo, mapupunta ka. Kasi mo, based on my experience, ako napakaliit. Kung makikita niyo ako personally, ako ay only stand for 10. Wherein the qualification standard sa PNP ng babae ay 5'2", ang lalaki ay 5'4". Pero sabi ko nga po, pag calling, at ang Diyos ang nagtalaga sa'yo, para doon ka, lahat ay merong solusyon. Lahat ay may pamamaraan din siyang ibibigay. So, habang ikaw ay bago pa lang kag-graduate, ikaw na hindi pa eligible, kung anong dumating na trabaho na pwede nating pagkakitaan, yung grab it. Kasi yung kikitain nyo din pera, magagamit nyo rin pag kayo nag-a-apply na sa talagang career na gusto nyo pursue. Kung ano ba, gusto nyo maging isang membro ng pulis, gusto nyo maging isang BGNP, gusto nyo maging sundalo, gusto nyo maging sa fire. Kasi tri-bureau naman ang pwedeng pasukan ng graduate ng criminology. And kung talaga namang so yun nga ang sabi ni Mama Silva, ang success ay continuous learning. So yun po talaga. And ako'y saludo nun kay Ma'am, tama yun, ang success ay talaga continuous learning. So yung ating mga fresh graduate, habang tayo naghihintay, ulitin ko po, huwag po tayong maging choosy sa pagdating sa paghanap ng trabaho. Kasi yung mga kikitain nyo, magagamit nyo rin kung saan talaga kayo merong calling, Lord. Marami pong mapapasukan naman ang graduate ng BS Criminology. Una, mag-lady guard ka muna o kaya company guard. Opo. Yun lang po.
Ayan. Thank you po. Thank you for that, ma'am. So, Ma'am Josie, I'm asking the same question, but this time naman po for fresh graduates of psychology. Ayan, ma'am. So, what do you
Okay.
think are usual job positions na pwede nilang puntahan?
Actually, for fresh graduates, you can apply as a psychometrician, although you also need to take the test, the licensure for psychometrician. But then, as a graduate already of psychology, it would take you like maybe a few months to review and then take the board exam. And while reviewing for the board exam, you can actually already work in an industrial setting or a school setting, which do not require the license yet. And aside from that, for HR associate positions, usually they don't ask already for the license. So while working on your license, you can actually work in the HR, or also um, maybe an assistant to the psychometrician. And it's not just for psychology graduates. I'm also referring to education graduates, because as education graduates, you have to take the board exam. But while waiting for the board exam, you can actually apply in a school while reviewing for the board exam. And once you get the license, then it's up to you whether to practice your profession, or maybe pursue graduate studies. So the most important thing is, if you can already have a job while working towards getting your license, and that's really a win-win situation. Thank you. I think, ma'am, um, I think she had a technical problem. There, she's back. Hi,
Sorry,
ma'am.
sorry for that. I'm having like bad internet connection this afternoon lang po. Okay. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing your answers, Miss Josie. Next na lang po is to Sir Ricky. Sir, this is a more like general question for our audience lang po. Sir, if we're talking about fresh graduates and newbies entering the industry. What do you think are soft skills or attributes or attitudes that they should like really improve on, especially now that we're dealing with a lot of employees have problems with mental health, burnt out, ganyan po. Yun po yung usual problems natin right now. And we wanted to ask you kung, in general lang po, in general, what do you think are things that are fresh grads should prepare for, traits that they should improve on, like that po.
Yeah, thank you for the question, Sherry. Actually, that question is very much related to the first and second questions, no? When we are talking about fresh graduates. But I'd like to say, actually, I'm a bit confused of the whole discourse of soft skills, to tell you honestly. Yeah, personally, parang ano bang soft skills ang sinasabi nila rito. But I think I can only speak from the standpoint of media practice, no? And yung mga mass comm graduates, hindi ko sasaklawin yung ibang ano no, hindi ko area. Pero sa amin talaga is attitude. no? And I'd like to sa soft skill to, no? And I'd like to relate it dun sa kaninang two questions and yung binabanggit kanina ni Ma'am Babs about not being choosy. Alam mo, attitude na yun eh. Sa field namin, hindi po pwedeng pagka-graduate mo, announcer ka kaagad. Kahit ang ganda-ganda mga anak ng boses ninyo, you cannot do it, no? You will start from being a cab reporter, i-cover mo muna yung mga blood stains there, sorry sa mga kumakain po. I-cover mo muna yung mga nagtagaan na Mr. at Mrs. kasi kinakaliwa bago ka mailagay sa mas mataas na beat like Malacanang Palace, Senate, ganyan. And then doon sa tanong din, sorry, medyo importante lang kasi yung tanong kanina, no? Kaya medyo pumupunta ako doon ng konti. Doon sa hindi pagiging choosy kasi yung daw mascom, ang hirap makahanap ng trabaho, sabi ni Denise kanina. Actually, Denise, it's a combination of many factors and you cannot just put it sa iyo na individual, no? Anong ibig ko sabihin? School, tinitingnan ng school. Kaya ang mga school ninyo nag-hire ng practitioners, kaya ang mga school ninyo nakikipag-linkage sa industries, kaya pinagagaling ang program para yung employability tumaas. So, the next thing, at ito ramdam na ramdam po namin, okay, magaling na yung individual, magaling na ang school, but how about your society? How about your country? Kami kahit anong galing ko, wala na ako ng trabaho sa ABS-CBN. You know what happened to ABS-CBN when we were shut down, when our franchise was not renewed. So anong ibig sabihin nun? Hindi ikaw lang, hindi school mo lang ang dahilan kaya hindi ka kaagad makakahanap ng trabaho. Maraming factors. Now, and then, ihuhuli ko nga yung binanggit mo, Sherry, kaninang tanong din from the audience, the soft skill. Sa akin po, yung attitude napaka-importante kasi nakakasigurado naman tayo na kapag, for example, LPU, I came from LPU, Batangas, medyo nakakasigurado tayo na yung pundasyon sa journalism, yung skills andyan eh. Pero ang tanong, pag ikaw ba ay nagsimula ng makipagkompetensya sa ibang graduate, sa ibang nagtapos din, okay? At na-hire na kayo pare-pareho, lahat kayo magaling. Ako employer, sino i-retain ko? Lahat kayo magaling. So, if you're talking of soft skill, ang titingnan ko, ito ba madaling katrabaho? Ito ba sumusunod pero critical pa rin mag-isip? Nag-a-agree ba kami to disagree? So, it's really attitude. Doon lang siguro ako. Kasi to me, again, it's personally, I'm actually confused of the whole thing, the whole discourse about soft skills. Pero doon po ako sa attitude. Guys, you really have to have an attitude na willing to learn, willing to cooperate, and at the same time, a critical thinker. Not just, kasi ngayon, ewan ko po sa ibang colleagues ko rito, no? Ang tinitingnan ng industry ngayon, if you are innovative, if you can think out of the box, dahil sa dami na, lalo po sa amin, sa dami nang nagawa sa industry, what else can you contribute? At kapag ka hindi mo nagawa yon, kasi attitude pa lang, bagsak ka na, I think medyo, yung chances mo of having a longer stay in the industry, medyo delikado. Ang haba na. Thank you, Sherry, for that.
Thank you for that, sir. Salamat po at nagpalalim kayo sa question ko. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Para madagdag naman yung discourse natin for this afternoon po, no? So, this question po is addressed to Ms. Babs of Phinma. Ma'am, how would you describe the corporate culture? Has it changed? Like, nagbago po ba yung sa industry? Like, from when you were in Manila Water to Phinma Education, like the span that was 10 years to like this po. May nagbago po ba or meron po bang or parang sa horizon po ba natin may nakikita po ba kayong pagbabago, parang ganun?
Parang ang hirap ng mga tinatanong sa akin ni Shari. Grabe naman.
Sorry.
Dahil ako lang. Magkaiba kasi yung nature ng industries, no? Magkaiba yung tubig, di ba? Utility siya. Ito, education network, serving low-income students by design. So, these are totally two different industries. Tapos, yung time na nasa Manila Water ako, which was 1997, right after privatization, baka hindi pa buhay yung mga nakikinig sa atin ngayon. So, 1997 to 2007, ibang panahon siya sa ngayon na nadaanan natin yung pandemya, di ba? Na nakakapag-meeting tayo, we can talk to one another, even one is physically somewhere else, no? Pwedeng nasa ibang parte ng Pilipinas. Dati, kailangan pag makikipag-meeting ka, pupunta ka dun sa kausap mo, 'di ba? Magbabiyahe ka. Pero ngayon, because of what happened, napilitan tayo to adapt new technologies, kagaya ng sabi ni Sir Ricky kanina. So, yun yung mga very visible na differences, no? Unang-una, magkaiba yung industry, iba rin yung roles, no? Iba yung ginagawa ko dati sa ginagawa ko ngayon. Pero ibabalik ko rin ulit sa sinabi ni Sir Ricky, binanggit niya kanina yung mga soft skills, yung attitude, no? Kahit ako, pag nag-hire ako ng tao, siguro para sa mga naghahanap ng trabaho, sinusubukan kong tanungin yung nakikipagkwentuhan ako. I don't really do formal interviews kasi mas gusto mong makilala yung tao, 'di ba? Dahil tama yung sinabi ni Sir Ricky, kung lahat kayo magaling, ang pipiliin yung pinaka matino, pinaka mabuti yung ugali, no? Kasi marami naman magagaling pero baka mamaya pasaway, hindi pala absent, 'di ba? Parang if you say that you will be there, 'di ba? If you, for example, tinawag ka sa first interview mo, you have to be there, no? Kung meron kang magandang dahilan for missing out on the interview, magsabi ka kasi hinihintay ka nung kausap mo. Mga ganyan. So babalik at babalik talaga sa attitude.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing that, ma'am. So, salamat po. So, ang next question ko po ay coming from the audience. Ma'am, Officer Manuela Cueto, meron po ulit tanong galing sa CRIM. So, from Ella Vien na Perry, can you share with us the challenges for fresh graduates of Criminology, and the tips to overcome it? Paano niyo po siya nalampasan?
Okay po. So, yun daw po, mga challenges para sa fresh graduates, so CRIM and tips to overcome it. So, madali lang po yan. Alam naman po natin, fresh graduate, pagdating natin sa paghanap ng trabaho o pag-apply, lahat talaga po yan ay may competition. Pero sabi nga po, kailangan din natin talaga mabir natin sa ating sarili. Kailangan meron tayong good attitude. Para po, kasi yung good attitude ng isang applicant ay merong puntos para sa employer na mag-hire sa'yo. Kung ikaw man ay lahat tayo, sabi natin, pantay-pantay ang galing. Pero meron namang attitude na hindi maganda. Kasi katulad sa PNP, pag hinire ka sa PNP, meron kang background check. Kung magaling ka, pero ikaw naman ay mayroong mga illegal activities na ginagawa o kaya ikaw gumagamit ka pala ng droga, so ibig sabihin, madi-disqualified ka. Magaling ka nga, pero ikaw ay gumagamit pala ng droga o ikaw ay engaged sa illegal activities. Meron kang bad record sa barangay. So, yun ay dahilan para ma-disqualified ka sa pag-apply mo sa PNP. So, the best talaga yung ating attitude. Kailangan meron tayong good report sa ating community at sa nearby town or community natin. The best good attitude. Yung kapag kapwa-tao natin. Kasi sa competition naman, pag-apply ng trabaho, lahat yan na magaling, may edge. Kaya nag-apply. Pero yun nga, ang higit na makakatulong sa inyo, you must bear a good attitude and report doon sa ating community kinabibilangan. Yun lang po.
Ma'am, you're on mute po.
Sorry, I'm on mute pala. Okay. Sorry because Shari's been having a difficult time with her internet connection. So sasaluhin ko na lang po. By the way, my name's Michelle po. I'm doing the behind the scenes po. Ma'am, thank you so much for sharing all your experience. So, on a final note na lang po, may I ask for final words for the graduating students of 2022. This batch po, itong past 2 years has been very unique siguro sa all throughout yung sa mga generations na nag-graduate. So, ano po yung final words? Could be encouragement or could be any other tips that you could give to guide them as they graduate and go to join the employment pool po, the labor force. Sir Ricky, can you please go first?
Napaka-challenging lagi nauuna eh. Kasi una sa recitation. Kaya kami umuupo sa huli ng upuan eh. Anyway, salamat po. No? Salamat sa opportunity. No? Siguro ako, ang masasabi ko lang nababasa naman siguro at napapanood po ng ating mga graduates ang laging laman ng aming ibinabalita. No? And I'd like to say sorry to you if our news is always some kind of a disappointing unemployment rate and so on and so forth. But still, I would like to frame it this way. No? We're still living in a very challenging times and yet exciting times. No? Kanina natanong ako about yun nga technology. No? Bilang nasa media industry po kasi, talagang, dear graduates, nag-open ng maraming opportunities ang digitalization na pwede ninyong i-explore, no? Even sa mga startup companies, ang dami kong nakikitang estudyante ko, grabe, mas mayaman pa po sa akin dahil may mga digital media studio po sila. So, sabi nga ni Ma'am Babs yata kanina, hindi, si Sir Raymund kanina, yung Jurassic era, medyo inabot ko po kasi yun eh. Ako po, caught in between that era at yung the digital era. Kaya hirap ding humabol sa digitalization. So, nakaka-amaze ang pwede ninyong gawin. Nakaka-amaze ang opportunities na naghihintay sa inyo. Pero ang mapapayo ko lang kanina, we capitalize on attitude. And then, kasi I think you will agree, esteemed colleagues, na yung pag-hone kasi ng skills, trabaho na ng school yun eh. And we are very much confident na sa school, for example, ng Lyceum, they can do it. Pero yung attitude kasi, it is something that cannot be taught. So, yun, pagyamanin nyo yun, and then ayusin nyo lang yung inyong resume. Ito yung mga practical tips. And then, huwag kayong matakot na sumuong sa challenging na mundo. Kasi lagi natin sinasabi na there is no harm in trying. And meron lang po akong specific na appeal sa masscom, no? Kasi yun po yung aking field, no? Sabi ko sa mga estudyante ko po, hindi ko alam kung paano kayo pakakalmahin sa nangyayari po ngayon, pero still kalma lang, no? Kasi the more kang matakot, the more kang hindi makakagalaw. So just, stay still and please join us, no, in the future, kasi we need more discerning journalists. We need more journalists that could explain complex issues sa mga common tao. Yun lang po. Salamat po ng marami.
Thank you for that, Sir Ricky. Yes, I agree po na very important yung discerning right now, yung discernment, not just for the journalist graduates, but also for everyone, pati po yung mga common citizens po. Miss Ella, could you go next po? Ano po yung final words po sana for our Cream graduates? Ma'am, naka-mute po tayo. Miss Ella, naka-mute po tayo.
Okay po. Ang maibigay ko lang pong advice sa ating mga fresh graduate ng criminology. Tulad po na sinabi ko kanina, must be a good attitude, mag-establish ng good rapport sa community kasi pag nag-apply kayo sa PNP and even the military and other bureau, meron tayong mga background check. Then, maintain natin yung ating physical health and mental health kasi meron tayong body mass index, yung BMI kung tawagin. Kailangan hindi sobrang taba, hindi malaki ang tiyan, hindi sobrang bigat, kasarapan lang ang timbang ayon sa taas. Then meron din po tayong neuro and psychiatrist test, written and interview. So ingatan po natin physical and mental health natin. Kailangan tayo physically fit, may good report. And wag po kayong panghihinaan ng loob na makipagsabayan sa pag-apply. Kasi ngayon merong online application ang ating dahil nga sa ating sitwasyon ngayon, online, iwas na yung face-to-face, online, at iniiwasan din na po yung nasabi nating palakasan system. So may barcode na po yun, may code na ang mga aplikante natin, hindi alam kung sino sila. So huwag kayong susuko. Kung sa first time ay hindi mabola, isipin na lang natin, ang calling ni Lord ay hindi pa dumarating. So, katulad ko nga po sabi ko sa inyo, ako na may produkto ng Lyceum, ay tiyaga-tiyaga lang po. At mararating din po ako. Hindi ko rin po sukat akalaing I'm now PEMS na ang ranggo ko ngayon at sa kabila na ako'y napakaliit. And I'm very proud na i-share ko sa aking alma mater. Kaya nga pag pinatawag ako ng aking alma mater na may meeting tayo ganito, may ganun, pwede ka ba nito? Ay bibigay ako ng oras kasi po utang ko sa aking alma mater kung nasan ako ngayon. So my cream student, ingatan lang po ang ating sarili. Huwag ma-involve sa mga illegal activities at laging magdasal at humingi ng guidance sa Lord para anuman ang naisin natin, ang Panginoon kailan may hindi natutulog. He will provide everything for us. So, good luck sa ating mga first graduate ng criminology and hopefully ay maka-join kayo sa aming organization. Siguro abutin nyo pa ako kasi yearly naman merong recruitment kasi marami ring nagre-retired at marami ring nadidismiss kasi merong mga illegal activities. So baka kayo ang papalit doon, try lang. Napakataas na ngayon ng sweldo ng patrolman, ng pinakabababang ranggo. It's almost 40,000. Once na nagtaas ka ng kamay, nag-take out, meron ka ng sahod habang ikaw ay nag-training pa lang. So good luck and welcome to the organization. See you soon, my dear graduates, CREAM graduates. Yun lang po and thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thanks for that promising message, Miss Ella. I'm sure excited na po mag-join ng workforce ang mga CREAM graduates natin. Sir Ray, since you're already here, napansin ko po yung internet connection natin is fluctuating. So, can you please give the final words po for our COM graduates? Any words of advice, final words po?
Well, there are 4 things I want to share with you. It's very simple, but I think very important. First is we have as fresh graduates and about to enter the industry, one, we have to do our assignments, which means we really have to be curious. We have to be continuously preparing ourselves, work on something that would prepare us. Number 2 is we stick to our principles. What are the real values that we want? What would be the principles of the career that we would like to take or pursue? And 3 is to work hard, really work hard and prepare hard and be smart. And the last one is to be kind, to be compassionate, to have good interpersonal relations. In the end, it's about good chemistry at work. That's more than talent, more than skills. It's how you relate with people. So with that, I'm wishing everyone in the class and the batch and the whole LPU and my colleagues a very good afternoon and all the best.
Thanks for that, sir. Yes, I agree po na times may change but yung values po and yung interpersonal relationships, yun po yung constant po in our lives. Po. Miss Josie, for your final words po.
Yes, to our graduates, regardless of what degree or what field they are in, um the first is you have to really grab the opportunities given to you. So LPU Batangas, SIDAP has given you this opportunity to be able to help you with your employment, and also jobs180.com is here to help you. So they're already giving you skills, they're already teaching you on what to do. And so take the time to really know and learn from this experience, from the learning experience that's given to you, so that you'll be able to be successful in your field. And the next is that the education that you achieved, or the education that you got, is not just for yourself. So hindi yan para sa lang. So may diploma na ako, sa akin na to, whatever I would want to do, sarili ko lang yung importante dito. It's not that, because you have to use your education, you have to use your skills to also touch the lives of others. So yung responsibility mo, na you got a good education, is to share it with others. And this education or these skills are really important, because the world needs you. So through this education, you'll be able to change the world. And of course, our country needs you. Our country needs more professionals, more people that will really help us to be a better country. So yon. Thank you so much po.
Thanks, ma'am po. So we learn not just for ourselves, but for our family, those around us, in our country. Yes, thanks, ma'am. And finally, Miss Babs po, final words.
Ah, siguro congratulations to batch 2020, no? Parang mahirap yung the last couple of years for you. I don't want to repeat what my colleague said already. Marami kayong very enriching yung mga sinabi nila. Siguro lang maybe be good eggs kasi madaming bad eggs. So wag na tayong dumagdag sa bad eggs. No? So let's be good eggs and let's transform, no? Help transform the workplace. Kung magiging police kayo, be a good policeman. Kung magiging guro kayo, be a good teacher, etc., etc. So yun lang. Maraming salamat.
And with that, thank you so much, our esteemed panelists. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation to be part of our roundtable discussion regarding industry expectations. I'm sure our students all learned a lot po. Thanks so much, ma'am. By the way, I'm going to post po ito pong certificate of appreciation from LPU Batangas po. So this certificate of appreciation is given to Miss Simbulan, Miss Josie Silva, PEMS Manuela Cueto, Mr. Raymund Soberano, and Mr. Ricky Rosales for all of your invaluable contribution as guest speaker in the 6th Career Congress of Lyceum, the Philippines, University Batangas held via virtual forum given this 27th day of May 2022, signed by Dr. Alex Ilagan, Director of Career Development, Alumni and Placement, by Dr. Cecilia Pring, Vice President for Academics and Research, and Mr. Frederick Badillos, Senior Vice President and VP for Finance. Thanks so much. Maraming salamat
Thank you.
po.
Maraming salamat. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless.
Thank you.
Bye-bye
God
po.
bless po.
Bye-bye po.
Happy weekend.
Mabuhay po kayo.
Buhay.
Okay, so it has been a pretty bumpy ride uh, with regards to internet connection. So to finally close today's session, may we call on for closing remarks Dr. Alex Ilagan. Sir, I'm putting up on the screen. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, good afternoon again. On behalf of our President, Dr. Peter P. Laurel, Mr. Eric Badillo, our Senior Vice President and Vice President for Finance, Dr. Cecilia Pring, our Vice President for Academics and Research, and the entire Management Committee of LPU Batangas, our partner in this very successful Career Congress, Jobs180.com, headed by its Managing Director, Mr. Kim Chua. I would like to express our gratitude to our speakers who shared their insights and expertise with us this afternoon. Ms. Kat Herrera, Mr. Raymund Cesar Soberano, Ms. Babs Simbulan, Mr. Ricky Rosales, Ms. Josie Silva, PEMS Manuela Cueto, of course, our host this afternoon, Ms. Shari and Ms. Michelle. So thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much. Likewise, our appreciation goes to our deans of different colleges who help us in coordinating with their graduating students. Dr. Arnie Villena, the Dean of College of Education, Arts and Sciences, and Dr. Milo Bautista, the Dean for Criminal Justice, our pre-registered participants who join us in StreamYard Live, and for making this virtual career congress a success. I hope that what we learned today will motivate us to be an effective job hunters and will inspire us to look or find job in the future. Thank you also to our administrators, especially to Dr. Maribeth Benbiaje and the entire SLEA family, MIS department headed by Mr. Alex Madlangbayan, and Ms. Ellie Dalangin, Ms. Antoinette Malibiran, and Mr. Anjo Laines for their full support in this undertaking. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you again in our future Career Congress, Pre-Employment Seminar, and Job Fair. Mabuhay ang LPU Batangas, mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ilagan. We're also very happy sa collaboration with LPU Batangas. Have a pleasant weekend, sir. So that's it, guys. We've reached the end of our program. So final reminders lang po. Ito po, there will be an evaluation. So this will be the basis for your attendance. Please be sure to fill it out. It's flash on your screen. Please take a screenshot of the QR code or just click on the comment section. I've already posted the evaluation link there. The evaluation will be open until 6 p.m. today per Miss Ellie May. So please be sure to evaluate before 6 p.m. para makatanggap kayo ng attendance ninyo. Let me check. So don't forget to evaluate and please watch out for our next set of webinars that we are hosting for the next few days. Please be sure to watch out for announcements also for your virtual career fair. Please be sure to use the skills that you've learned today here. So much, ako personally, while going through doing the back end, yung tech po dito sa natin sa webinar, I've learned a lot from all our speakers and our panelists today. So please be sure to keep that. I hope you kept some notes, you made some notes, and continue to improve on yourself by the time that you get to employment. Once you go look for a job, remember the tips that all our panelists espoused today about being not choosy, having the right attitude. Timeless po lahat yon. So with that, our session ends today. Thank you so much. See you and have a great afternoon, everyone. Ingat po.
Change. It happens when you least expect it, but also when you embrace it. At Accenture, we help the world's biggest brands thrive through change. Our people combine technology and creativity, expertise and experience, learning and collaboration, passion and purpose to make a difference for our clients, their customers, our company, and our communities. Behind every great change is a great human. Bring your skills, your curiosity, and your true self to your work every day. Let's do incredible things. Let's deliver on the promise of technology and human ingenuity.